Today we'll be changing the spark plugs. I have a little cold and my voice is very sore. But we'll be changing the spark plugs and the coils for a 2002 Ford Expedition with a 5.4 Triton. And the year doesn't matter. This is pretty much the same for every 5.4 Triton out there. There's small differences by years. But anyways, I already did the left side of it. I got new spark plugs and coils, which is the passenger side. And to do this one, all I did was got a 10 millimeter, took these two bolts off right here, one and one back there. Where's the other one? Right there. And I was able to move that fuel rail. I had access to all of them, and what I did was just take the coils out and the spark plugs and put a new one in, plug in. Now, what I ended up doing was I replaced the back three here, and this one I did a year prior before I decided to change them all out. So I have 8 of them. That's an 8-pack I bought. So I'll have one left over, and I kind of like the idea because just in case one breaks down the road. But that's the new one. This coil pack is not Motorcraft. That's I forgot what brand it was. I got that one at O'Reilly's, which I do not recommend doing. I recommend getting Motorcraft. Those back 3 are Motorcraft. And these all on this side, the driver's side, are the factory ones. So anyways, I got new Motorcraft ones, which are right here. And the spark plugs I'm using are pre-gapped, and they're SP479. See it? Right there. So anyways, the first step I'm doing is I'm going to remove the cover to the engine. And the way I move this is, there's 3 bolts on it. They're 10 millimeters. I already unscrewed it. One's right here, and 2 of them are right there. Right here. There's 1 and 2. Now I need to pop it off. So now I popped off the engine cover, which is right here. And the next step is I need an 8 millimeter socket, and I need to take these 3 screws off for the brake reservoir, which I already have them popped out. Just like that. So far the 10 millimeters were for the engine cover, and the 8s were for the brake booster, which I like to, when I take stuff off like that, I like to put the screws back where they were, or I like to put them in something like this where they belong. Okay, now I have access to this one right here, which I'm going to do right now. And I need to take this one off, which I believe is an 8 millimeter. Actually, is it an 8 or is it a 7? It's a 7. Now I'm going to loosen this up all the way. Just like that. Alright, I hope you guys can see this good, but I took out the first screw for the coil pack, which is right here. It's the long skinny ones. That's I think it was a 7 millimeter. And anyway, so you pop this out. Now you're supposed to take off the connector before, but I want to show you how it's connected. I don't know if you guys can see that real good, but on the back of here, let me show you. On the back of this coil pack, they slide out just like that, and there's a little groove on here that catches to it, and you just have to make sure they're off. So, and look at that, that's disgusting. That's rust on there. And these are the original ones. This thing has 300 and something thousand miles on it. So the next one to remove, you have to do the same thing. So on these coil packs, can't show you this good. Right here, okay? They slide in just like that. Okay, and they latch onto here. And underneath here, on the coil pack, on this connector right here, on this one, on the back, you'll notice there's a push thing. And you push it down as you pull it off, and that's how you take them out. I hope, it was kind of hard to show you this, but I hope you guys see it. So now I have a 5/8 socket with the spark plug catcher in it. I'm going to put on my extension and pull the very first plug out. Wow, this one's not even in here. Jeez. Alright, when I pull this one out, I'll get back to you. Okay, and I want to show you guys something very crazy. If any of you have to help me with this and tell me how to get it, I will appreciate it. But I was trying my 5/8, like, why is it not working? So anyway, so I grabbed one size bigger and one size smaller, see if that would work. Then damn, what? So I looked down at here. I don't know if you guys can see it. That's the spark plug. I never saw that before. This part right here is completely missing. That part. It's just this part. That's completely gone. So help me if you guys have any idea on how to remove that one. But anyways, the next step is the fuel rail, which is 2 8mm bolts. Okay. Which is... I got one bolt removed right here. And there's one in the back right there where I'm pointing. Okay, so when I remove those, I'll get back to you. Alright, so I end up removing the second coil, and to do that, it was right here. This little thing was in my way, so it's the same method as you take off the coil packs. There's a dang right here you squeeze down, right here, which is on the bottom of those. You squeeze it and you pull it. Which that moved it off here to give me a straighter shot, so when I took that out, it could come out easier and you just pull out with your hand. Now I took this spark plug out. Yeah, you had to use about close to 2 feet of extensions, and this is the spark plug right there. So these are the spark plugs, and they are disgusting. Anyways, this is a new one, and a lot of people apply these with anti-seize on it, which in my case this vehicle has over 300,000, so this is probably the last time this would ever happen. And the owner's manual does not say to anti-seize. Now I'm gonna torque these down on my vehicle to 20 pounds. A lot of people do say 13 pounds, 14 pounds. Well, then another person on forum said, the manual said, my manual's gone out of here, but it says to do 28 to 32, which that sounds like a lot to me, especially these are aluminum heads and you don't want to strip them, so I'm going to do 20. Alright, so I did end up torquing mine down to 20 pounds with this extension here. So the second spark plug's torqued down. Now, what I'm going to do is get a new coil pack, which is right here. And when you put this on, you want to make sure you hear it pop. You want to hear it pop. Oh, and you want to put some connecting grease in here, but I do not have any, so yeah. Now, try to get this on video. It's just kind of a hard thing to record. Okay, where is it? Right here. You want to make sure where you took out the bolt for the coil pack. See if you hear it. Oh yeah, I heard it. Next, I'm gonna just grab this bolt through here, bolt it down again, and I'll get back to you. Alright, so I got the second one in, which is right here. Right there, can't really see it good. Right there, shine light on it. I got that one in. Now it's time for the third one, which I have my extension hooked up to it, already ready to take off, and it's right there where I'm shining the light. Right there, I'm taking the bolt. Next, I'm gonna pop the coil pack out, and as you see, I already popped out the this connector right here for it. Now I'm going to take this one out and install it. I will show you how I do the very last one. That's way back there because that one is kind of hard to do. But anyway, so after I take the third one out, I'll come back to you on the fourth one. And I'll install the third one since you guys already saw me install it on the first one, sort of, but mainly the second one. Now, you do want it to be snug where this bolt you tie in back in, the 7mm one for the coil packs. Because you see how they have no, I mean, this one already loosened up, but they have no play. So you want them where they're snugged in so the vibration won't make them loose. Alright, so I'm down to my very last spark plug and coil pack. And as you can see here, I have this positioned on it, which is it's a 7mm socket with my, it has a elbow on it, which allows me to bend and get it, which is off, just like that. Now I need to reach down and grab it. So I had to use that to make it reach. But now I'm going to grab it. Oh, I already disconnected my connector from the coil pack. So my very next step is to pull it out. And when I pull out, I'll get back to you. Alright, so I ended up taking my last coil pack out, which was right here, which this one does not look that bad. And I reached down there with my socket. All I did was my I think it's a 10 or 12-inch extension, and I was able to take out my spark plug, which was the easiest spark plug to take out. It came out with no effort, which is right here. Now I'm going to install my new one. You guys could do anti-seize with yours if you want to. It's just that let's see what we're looking at. Sticking it back there, trying to find it in the gap. Now it's in. Now I'm going to tie in it. Alright, so I do have some good news. I am sick now. That's not the good news. The good news is I got this spark plug out. And it was the very first one here that I told you I thought was snapped. But if you look, there was dirt. I was trying for hours to get this out with pliers, needle nose pliers, all kinds of stuff. No luck. Then finally I was talking to my stepdad, and he said, remember last time we had to dig for a while when I was changing the left side spark plug? Now I realized, oh man, I might have to dig. The dirt was up all the way to here. So I got this hanger and I just started digging. And some of it was magnetic. So I was able to, when I dug a lot, go down, grab all that grease and grime. And I cleaned it. But the hanger is what I used, wire hanger. And I was there for about an hour or two just digging. But anyways, I got the coil packs in now. So now this is the very last step. All you want to do is make sure everything is in. Like, I unplugged this thing, so I want to plug it back in. Okay, it clicked. The vacuum hose, I'm missing one right here. Okay. This was plugged in here. Okay. My right here for my one fuel injector, I did unplug this thing so I could see. I didn't unplug that. Don't know if you guys can see it. Right there, the fuel rail. So I have access to my first coil pack. Okay, now you have to tighten your fuel rail down, which these are the 6mm, I believe, which I already have these tightened by hand. One of them is right there, right here, yeah, and the other one is back there, and you want to tighten those up by hand. So when I get those tied in by hand and check everything else, make sure everything's connected, that's it. And the last step is just to put the cover on. All right, so I'm very glad I checked everything to make sure everything was on, because before I was gonna put the engine cover on, I realized I forgot the mount for the power steering pump. So I do have to put that on, which goes on just like that. Now I'm going to tie in these off camera, and when it's done, I'll let you know. Alright, so I'm putting the cover on now, and you guys can just watch me do it. And for future videos, if you guys have any reference, let me know. Like what you guys want to see. If you want to see more mechanic videos, if you want to see what videos you guys want to see, and I can make them. And perhaps if I don't have that vehicle, I know people who might have that vehicle, and we could probably make the repair happen. Now do check, start your car and make sure it runs good, everything's connected before you start assembling stuff, because if you didn't maybe put in a spark plug correct or the coil over, and it could be misfiring out of that cylinder. So that's just something to think about. And thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry I couldn't record the left side of the engine, but it's pretty much the same as the right side, just way easier. And I'm going to snug down those bolts, and that's it.